Jack, not necessarily something we always talk about here on this program, but from time to time it does come up, and that is the issue of individuals born males wanting to compete in women's sports, and whether or not that's an idea that's gonna advance more and more, and we're seeing it, that indeed it is advancing more and more, that individuals born male are looking to compete in professional female sports. And the latest instance of this is a surfing category for women's professional surfing. And apparently you've got a professional wrestler who was very much a huge star. This is Bethany Hamilton. She's considered the soul surfer. She had her arm bit off by a shark when she was a teenager, but that didn't prevent her from going on and being a world-class surfer. But apparently she's pushing back against a professional worldwide surfing league. It's opening it up for the possibility that individuals born males could compete in the women's category. Here's some of what she had to say, and she's being chastised across the internet from various circles because of it. Again, here is Bethany Hamilton, known as the soul surfer.
Today, I want to address the news that the World Surf League has officially made the rule that male-bodied individuals known as transgender athletes can officially compete in the women's division. The World Surf League says they are following the Olympic guidelines. While I address this issue, I want to be clear that I strive to have love for all of mankind, regardless of any differences. But this concerns me as a professional athlete that has been competing in the World Surf League events for the past 15 plus years. And I feel that I must speak up and stand up for those in position that may feel that they cannot say something about this. I think many of the girls currently on tour are not in support with this new rule, and they fear being ostracized if they speak up. So here I go. Questions I have that I want to consider with you. How is this rule playing out in other sports like swimming, running, MMA? Have any of the current surfers in the World Surf League been asked what their thoughts and opinions are on this new rule before it was passed or announced? Should there be a conversation with the 17 women and all of the men on tour prior to a rule change such as this? Is a hormone level an honest and accurate depiction that someone indeed is a male or female? Is it as simple as this? Who is pushing for this huge change? Does this better the sport of surfing? Is this better for the women in surfing? If so, how? How did whoever decided these hormone rules come to the conclusion that 12 months of testing testosterone make it a fair and legal switch? Why is the WSL's statement about trans women competing with women, and yet there's no mention of converted women competing with men? I personally think that the best solution would be to create a different division so that all can have a fair opportunity to showcase their passion and talent. And I think it's really hard to imagine what the future of women's surfing will be like in 15 to 20 years down the road if we move forward allowing this major change. But we are seeing glimpses of male-bodied dominance in women's sports like running, swimming, and others. My hope is that if I ever have a daughter who is competing in surfing or any sport, and also for all the aspiring young generation of women, to have a bright and promising opportunity in her ambition to be the best of the best woman in her sport. I personally won't be competing in or supporting the World Surf League if this rule remains.
So again, that's Bethany Hamilton, known as the soul surfer, somebody who had their arm bitten off as a teenager when she was in the waters, a shark getting a hold of her, but she still went on and became a world-round sensation in the surfing world, and she's concerned about the idea of allowing individuals who are biological males competing in women's sports, and in particular with the issue of surfing. But we've seen this elsewhere as well, with people raising concerns about women's shot put. And having a person with a male skeletal system and male muscles, despite whatever estrogen you put in there, they're still going to have an advantage over a woman who is born a woman. So, the phone lines are blowing up here. Let's get to your phone calls. Good morning. You're on WMAY.
Yeah, thanks, Greg. She said exactly what I was going to call and say, and that is create your own little trans group, and you compete in that. That's a bunch of BS.
But even then, you're going to have people pushing back that that's going to marginalize that group of people if you have a separate category. So who knows if that's going to be the answer. Good morning. You're on WMAY.
Human beings have lived through the Stone Age and the Bronze Age, but I don't think we're going to live through the age of stupid. You can't get any lower than this. What else can you say? It's just proven that women can't compete against men in certain things. That's just the way it is.
And listen, I mean, it's you're going to have a lot of passions on all sides of this, and phone lines lit up as we talk about this issue. But obviously, it's something that's very controversial. As Bethany Hamilton, when she made this video online, she has been criticized widely by members of various social media circles, saying, "Oh, they were inspired by her, but now they can't stand her." They're calling her a TERF, which is a trans exclusionary radical feminist, I think. Either way, women who are standing up saying we don't want people who were born men in sports, and they're being criticized as bigots. Is that the case here? Good morning. You're on WMAY.
Well, Greg, Title IX had a good run, didn't it?
Well, and that's the thing here is Title IX, if people don't know, it was meant to protect women in sports and other categories of athletics or extracurricular activities.
But now you just identify as a woman and you can just beat the holy hell out of a woman in their competition. Hey, South Park has always been on point with, issues like this. I recommend South Park. Strong Woman.
Yes, an incredible episode, and if people don't watch South Park, they need to go and research and find some choice episodes, because they fire on all cylinders. Appreciate the call. Got more coming in. We'll take them, though I'm late for news. Good morning. You're on WMAY.
Good morning, Greg.
Hey.
My whole thing here, so marginalized, I mean, why were the genders ever separated in the first place? I mean, you even have Special Olympics. Are they marginalized? And then, two, they don't allow these athletes to legally take performance enhancement drugs. A lot of that has to do with testosterone. Men obviously have way more testosterone. I just don't see it. The women that are standing up for this should not be criticized for speaking out. I just watched a video of a high school trans kid at a track meet, and he was smoking all the other girls. They were running their hardest, and he was just half-ass doing it and blew him out the water.
Yeah, and listen, I mean, I have eclectic music tastes. All right, I listen to several artists that identify as trans. Be it Arca from South America, which is really wild, ethereal type of techno music, to a few others that make kind of angsty type of folk type music. In the art world, absolutely, be yourself, do what you want to do. But when it comes to that physical competition, there's something to say about the argument of bone structure, muscle structure, biological makeup and genetics, and all of that. And these women are standing up saying that they don't want to have the opportunity to compete against a man that is saying that they're a woman, because that is obviously, why we have men and women categories, because the bodies are built differently. One last call here. Good morning. You're on WMAY.
Good morning, Greg. Well, they do have divisions for weight class, and they also have handicap divisions based on physical ability. So there's no reason why they cannot have a transgender division.
Well, maybe that's going to be the answer here. Everything from surfing to running to MMA to who knows what's next. Appreciate the call.